You know, we're happy to be where we are. At this time last year, we didn't even make the tournament, so being able to go in, especially as a 3 seed, is really exciting. Any postseason play is a big deal. I think everybody going in is super excited. Records are 0-0. Wins and losses don't matter anymore. It's who comes to play at the tournament, so anything can happen. Oh, it definitely is. The fact that we just played them, it's kind of nice because we're fresh in the mind of what we need to do to stop them. But then the same for them with us. Their last game will have been against us. We played Central in between, but we're going to be watching film, looking at things that we can clean up on from both the first time we played them and the second time we played them. They're a very athletic team. They're scary. They can be hot or cold. So definitely looking at things that we can improve on from the first 2 times we played and maybe capitalize on some of their weaknesses for this next time. Definitely the hard work pays off. We were picked 7th to start, and everybody definitely had a chip on their shoulder from that. We thought we were kind of overlooked, and we had something to prove. So coming in and, we worked our way up from the bottom, we got towards the top, and we just stayed there. It's really exciting to see what hard work can do. And, it's like some people have said, it's, you grind out the games, you win the close ones, you play defense, and you come out on top. So it's really exciting to see where everybody else expected us and then to surpass all those expectations and be at the top. It's a fun time. I mean, any sort of tournament, especially postseason, because it's win or go home. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So when I was a freshman, I was definitely very nervous, but once you get out there, it's just you lay it all out on the line and you give it everything you have because, in the end of the day, if you win, you move on, and if you, like I said, you don't, you go home. So definitely for all the girls to go out and just play their hardest, leave it all out on the court, and hopefully, we'll make a run here at the end of the season. To be ready, I guess, first punch. We always talk about, you want to come out, you want to have the first punch. And it's hard when you're playing on the road because, they have their hometown crowd, they have a band, they have the student section, they have whatever. But now, it's a neutral location. There'll be about the same amount of fans for each team. And I think punching first is going to be huge. Take that first, lead by the first media, lead at the first quarter. And for us, when we start good, we have a tendency to keep a lead. And, we've started behind 2 and come back and won games. But obviously it's more fun when you come out to a big start. And definitely that's what we're going to focus on, winning that first quarter and then building that lead throughout the 40 minutes so that by the end of the game we have the lead at the end. And everyone who comes on to the court is going to give it 110%. You don't know who's going to step up. In the last game against Central, we had huge minutes off of our bench. It could be anybody on a given night. And I think people overlook us because they don't see us as super athletic or super skilled, but we work so well together and we do what we need to do to get the job done. And everybody buys in and does their own, they contribute in their own way. And that's really exciting because it could be one day, you get 9 boards and the next day you have 12 points. It could be anything from anyone on a given night.
Ooh, some of those pre-ranking things like that, I think they kind of base it off of last year. And that's all, always tough. But seeing that we were tied, I think, for the 7th spot was kind of one of those things that it's just like, wow, they have no idea. We know that we're so much better than this. But it's also a really good way to come out and have to prove yourself. And I think when you're picked like that and you can do better, I think proving yourself and proving, what your team is worth is a bigger accomplishment than being picked number 1 or something like that. I don't know. I think in the long run, I think it was really good for us because we came out and I think that we did a really good job of proving that, we're not the 7th seed. We're actually going into the tournament as the 3rd seed. So we had to beat all those teams, to overcome the 7th spot. So just in that aspect, so proud of this team for doing that and just, playing so hard to get to that spot. Well, everyone knows I've been here for 5 years. So in the 5 years that I've been here, this team has been the easiest team to gel with. We work together as one out there. Nobody's really chippy. Everybody has each other's back. We share the ball at any different time. There's 3 people scoring double figures, 4 people, everyone's scoring. There's so many different things that we work together out there that I think teams in the past were just missing that one extra thing. And, we might not have the most athletic, the most tall, all that, diversification, but we just have chemistry. And I think, as it's proved, it's so important, because without it, I think, we would be in that 7th spot if we couldn't, work together out there. And so another thing is I think we really trust each other as far as, when it's in the hands of someone else, or we're really willing to work hard for each other. So I think that is another reason why we've come so far this year. Well, they're fresh in our minds. I think, I don't want to say necessarily a disadvantage, but, we shot lights out that game. And as we learned on Saturday, you're not always going to shoot that good. And another thing is Northwest Nazarene, usually puts up 80 to 90 points. We held them to, I think, 50-something, maybe 60. So just doing those things, I think, is really important. I think that we need to jump on NNU and kind of throw that first punch and keep going, because I think if we let them get any type of hope or confidence, it's going to come back to bite us. And as far as matchups, I just think that we match up really well against them. Our guards are a little bit bigger. Our posts are a little bit faster. Just different things like that. I think we're a little bit more of a physical team, where the posts would rather shy away, and the guards would like to do kind of a one-on-one thing. There's always room for improvement. So I think, this week we'll really, focus on what the little fixes that we need to do, but, also kind of break down, okay, well, here's an opening in there, and here's a different opening, to have second options, because they're going to want to come out and beat us, and they're hungry. In the GNAC, anybody can beat anybody. So just keeping our composure and really pushing and, making the right reads is going to just be important for us. A lot. I don't even know. Taking your rest when you can get it, ice bath, the normative. This is one of those things where basketball kind of turns into a business trip, or, homework. You never go in unprepared, and at this part in the season, everybody's tired. And the people that can take care of their body, get the rest that they need, and go in and just kind of grind and have that mental toughness, I think is going to outlast. We haven't played back-to-back games since the beginning of the season when everybody was fresh. So, but just kind of, I don't know, you got to grind. You just got to outthink it mentally, I think, is the biggest part. I kind of look forward to the girls that didn't get to go last year. I think they're at a point where I'm tired, and but the tournament is so much fun. You get to feel that March Madness, and it is a big accomplishment. All those teams that make it have worked so hard, and they're good, and the environment's fun. So all those things are super fun. Travel, getting to travel again, and I don't know, the tournament's just tournament time. That's what every college basketball player looks for, is to be playing in the March Madness. And so yeah, I think it'll be kind of exciting to see what the younger girls feel for it too. And I think it also kind of rejuvenates a little bit of that passion for basketball when when you get there. It's just I don't know, there's something different about it. Even though we played some conference games at St. Martin, it's just fun. It's hard because we didn't win that game, so it's hard to celebrate something like that, even though I know that that record didn't get beat just alone on Saturday. So I guess for me, beating that record, it just means a lot. It's hard for me to have something that I am leading when 5'9" of me. It's just, some of those girls that were ahead, that's a 6 foot and above club, not the 5 foot, but it's one of those that people thought that I had no business playing college basketball, let alone doing something like this. And then, going through a torn ACL and feeling what it's like to basically be dependent on one leg instead of two. Things like that, it definitely was put into perspective for me that it's kind of one of those moments where the hard work and the missing body pieces and everything like that, paid off. And I think you're always going to have people that doubt your ability. And I'll be the first to admit, I am not the most athletic person on that court, but I work probably the hardest, because I've always been at a disadvantage, and if enough people tell you that you can't, at some point, like, you're going to go out there and prove that you can. And I think that is just the biggest thing for me, is that I just proved that I can do something that, not a lot of people can do. And just that in its own is just a big thing, for me. And I hope for, other people too. Just because some people say that you can't doesn't mean that you can't. So that's, the biggest point that I want other people to take off of it is that you can really, I don't know.
Well, it's been a special season for our team. I really have enjoyed coaching them and just watching them grow and improve. I just think that they've gotten better each month as the season progressed, and I know it's a great accomplishment to any time to make this tournament, and all 6 teams are very worthy of the tournament, and it should be a great event, but we're excited to be one of those. I think there is, just because it's a do or die situation. I think both teams will be obviously really ready to go. Playing them this year, once we played them in early December, then it was a 3 months later just to play them last week. So it's a little weird maybe playing again just the immediate week after. But both teams know each other well, and both teams have really good players. So I think the outcome obviously will be decided on the court, and we look forward to the game, and they're a very worthy opponent. Yeah, they are. Last year to not make it was difficult for us. And it's something that we sure didn't want to happen again. And I think that's been part of our motto this year, to just not take anything for granted. And if we can continue to do that, I think we have a great chance to advance Thursday. Well, we're going to have to defend, better than even we did a week ago against them. They have a tremendously talented perimeter group of players. They have great speed, and you just have to get down and want to defend and stop them. And the better you can do on the ball, then the less pressure it puts on all our help people. Also, they really crash the offensive glass well. A lot of their games, that's a real key. They're not extremely big, but they have a great effort there. So we'll need to do that. And then last week we turned it over too many times against them. We were fortunate that we shot the 3 very well, and I think that covered up some of those turnovers. But I think we have to be better as far as ball protection. And if we can maximize possessions, I think we'll be okay. But again, they're very good, and it should be a great game. Well, experience is something you just, when you have it, you take it for granted. So it's a great thing if they've been in that tournament atmosphere and they know what it's like. So the ones that have that, I'm hoping that they'll talk to the players that it'll be their first time. It's similar to their high school state tournaments. It's a big event. They understand that it's something that you strive for all year to get to, and it's been a difficult stretch for us as far as 4 out of the last 5 weeks we've been on the road. Really, it seems like we live in Washington and we visit Montana instead of the other way. But this one, I think this week you just kind of go on adrenaline, and we understand that we're one of those top 6 teams, and if we play well, we advance, and if we get beat, then at least we need to make sure that we've left it all out on the court. And I think our captains that have been there will take care of the younger players that are here for the first time. Well, all 3 of them have been co-captains this year, and they've done a great job. I think they've all played at a tremendous level. Alisha, I think, is one of the most versatile players in our entire region. She's can score in many different ways. She's just a stat freak. If she can dominate a game, or at least make an impact on a game, whether it's through passing, through rebounding, steals, assists, anything there. So I was really happy that she was honored as a first team all-conference. And then Janiel, to come back from an injury, she started slow this year, but I really thought over the last couple months, we've gotten to see a lot of the old Janiel, and I think she's become even a better leader this year. And her will and just intensity has really helped our team. And then Monica for sure has had her best year. I mean, it was just nice that in her off season and her preseason she got to focus on basketball, and her versatility as a post player who can step out and shoot outside has been really important to us on offense. And then Monica has really become a top defender for us on the interior. So all three of them, I'm really happy for their postseason honors, and they know that it's a true team award, and because of their teammates that work them all every day in both practices and play with them in games, they had a lot to do with it as well. Yeah, it is a great honor to be represented, to represent MSUB, my staff, which is just Jenny, but she does a great job, and our team, and then I'm just very fortunate to coach here and work with all of our admin staff, etc. And then to be recognized by your peers in your conference is very nice to hear. I think there's several coaches that could have received this award, so I'm thankful that I got it, and I appreciate it.